Okay, so my name is James Bowden. As I said, I'm with the Office of Financial Aid. I definitely want to welcome everybody. We're very excited to have everyone here virtually today. Very excited that we could offer this for everyone who couldn't be present at the campus. So what we'll be going over today is just a lot of general financial aid terms, the application process, just definitely different things that we recommend students do to make sure that their financial aid is set up, things to look out for, and then just a lot of good general information to know while you're trying to navigate your financial aid journey. So I see a couple other people joining, so please just make sure you save those questions to the end if you have any. And then once we're done recording, we'll jump into that. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is the cost of attendance. So whenever we say cost of attendance in the financial aid world, this is a student's budget or their overall financial aid cap number. So what they can go up to and receive. This isn't actually what the student's bill will be. So you will see that there are different things on here that are labeled as direct costs and indirect costs. So direct costs are going to be anything that may show up on a student's actual bill. So that can be their tuition, their student fees, their room and board if they live on campus. But then we do understand that there are expenses outside of the student bill that a student needs to prepare for, like getting their books and supplies, their personal items, transportation, definitely miscellaneous things like medical bills or personal hygiene products even. We want to make sure that we can offer enough financial aid, and that's our goal, is to get up to that overall cap number that you see at the bottom in the yellow boxes for each type of student. And then that way we feel if there's financial aid up to that number, then it can cover anything that the student may have to pay for that we see is vital to them being successful throughout their year while being enrolled at UNC. So one of the big questions maybe is, where do I start? What do I need to do if to get financial aid? So the very first step is completing either the FAFSA or the CASFA, the free application for federal student aid, or the Colorado application for state financial aid. So the two differences in these applications is going to be based off of residency. So if you're a citizen of the US and you're eligible for Title IV funding, then you'll want to complete the FAFSA or the free application for federal student aid. If there is any issues with residency that may keep you from being eligible for federal funding, then that's where we offer the CASFA. That way you can still see if you qualify for state and institutional aid, and then possibly still receive some help, even though it may not be coming through the federal funding. Definitely reach out to the Office of Financial Aid. That way we can help you determine which application you need to do if there are any questions about this. We can definitely help guide you and determine which one you would be eligible for and which one you need to complete. If you need to complete the FAFSA, the federal application for student aid, then that's going to be at studentaid.gov. Whereas if you're completing the CASFA application, that'll be at the second website listed under where, at highered.colorado.gov/CASFA. The big things to know about these applications is they do come with a priority deadline of March 1st. So we are past that date with this year coming up, the 23-24 year. But know that you can still complete either application, but it's always best to complete that before that March 1st date, because there are specific scholarship and grant opportunities that a student may not be considered for, even if they are eligible, if they don't complete before this date. So know that every year that you're going to be enrolled, you will need to do either the FAFSA or CASFA. So it's always a great idea to pay close attention to that priority deadline. So whenever you're applying for financial aid, there's going to be different types of financial aid we're going to see if you're eligible for. So it could be grants, it could be work study, it could be loans. So first, grants, that is financial aid awarded based on a student and family's financial need. So we do need that CASFA or that FAFSA application to determine that and see if you're eligible for those state or federal grants. A big thing to know about grants is if you receive them, they don't have to be repaid. Where on the other side of things, loans, those do have to be repaid. So that's the big difference in between something like a grant versus a loan. So jumping into loans, just know that there are three different types that we see. They could be federal student loans, they could be a Parent Plus loan where the parent is the borrower, or they could be a private loan where that's going to come through a bank. And oftentimes we see if a student takes out a private loan that does require a cosigner or an endorser on there, but then the student will be the borrower on that loan. Also, the applications are very important to determine eligibility for work study. This program, I love this program, and I recommend students, if they are going to be pursuing employment while being enrolled, to look into work study. So what's great about this program is it's very flexible with your hours. Definitely your studying it comes first before the work, but it also helps you gain very valuable work experience and knowledge, because you'll go through the process of finding a job, applying, interviewing, doing everything that a normal employer would do with outside of work study. So definitely I say check this out. If it's not on your award package, know that we can get you signed up on the wait list. That way you can be reviewed at a later point if funding allows it, and we can reallocate funds. Also with work study, it's been proven time and time again that students will have a higher GPA and they're more organized and more likely to graduate if they take part in work study versus an outside employer. Also, the types of financial aid that are going to be considered is scholarships. So do need those applications I've spoke about to determine what types of scholarships a student may receive. So it could be an admission-based scholarship, which this one will actually be merit-based. So that's going to be off of that GPA a student brings in whenever they come into UNC. Next are the foundation scholarships. So these are scholarships that are going to come through UNC directly, and they are applied for through the UNC scholarship application. Once a student is admitted to UNC, they can get onto their URSA account, go to the financial tab, and then at the very bottom, there will be a UNC scholarship application link. A student will fill out a big general application. Based off of those answers when they submit, it'll determine what the student is eligible for, and it'll start applying the student to those scholarships. That way the student doesn't have to go through one by one and apply to each individual scholarship. So it makes it a lot easier and more efficient for a student when applying for scholarships through UNC directly. Also, it'll find ones that they recommend. So maybe you need to answer another question or two, or possibly submit an essay along with it before you can complete the entire submission or application process for that specific scholarship. Lastly, we have private scholarships. So these are going to be scholarships that come from an outside agency or organization, and they also help students pay their educational expenses. Just know that a lot of private scholarships do come with their own deadlines, so it's very important to pay attention to those deadlines for those specific scholarships. And then also the private scholarships more than likely will just have a check sent in from the donor. So definitely reach out to the Office of Financial Aid, and we can help you with the address and let you know where that check needs to be sent, and possibly what the setup on it may need to be and the guidelines. All right. So whenever a student's going through and they get admitted, they'll get their URSA account or their student portal. This is a little snapshot of what it looks like whenever a student logs in and they click on the financial tab. So what's great about this is that it's going to let you know right away if you have any sort of unsatisfied requirements that may be keeping your financial aid from being dispersed or applied to your student bill. You definitely want to keep a close eye on this and make sure you're completing any of those unsatisfied requirements if we're notifying you on them. Also, this is where a student is going to go to view and accept their award offer. So they'll go into URSA, click financial, view accept award offer. Big thing is to make sure that you're on the correct year. So whenever we're talking about this upcoming year, the fall, that'll be the 2023 through 2024. And that'll carry over from fall 2023 to spring 2023 or 24 into summer 2024. So the aid year always starts new in the fall. Okay, so this is actually a state stipend that is called the College Opportunity Fund. This doesn't impact a student's financial aid, but it is something great for students who are Colorado residents who have in-state tuition. So if you're a Colorado resident attending at UNC, you could be eligible for the College Opportunity Fund. So this past year, the 2022 through 2023 year, they were paying $104 per credit. So for a student who's a full-time student at 12 credits, that's at $1,248 that the state came and paid on their bill. And that does not limit or impact that financial aid that a student can receive. So definitely a great thing to take advantage of if you are a Colorado resident. And for a student, if they are needing to apply and do the application, it can be found within the URSA account or that student portal account. You'll log in, you'll click on financial tab, but instead of being under the financial aid side, it's going to be on the left side under the billing section, down closer to the bottom. A student will want to do the application, and then they'll also want to do the authorization. Best recommendation with the authorization is to do it for a lifetime. That way, you don't have to worry about coming in and redoing that authorization every semester or every year and potentially missing out on it. You can just do that lifetime one. And then just, we always recommend checking your student bill and making sure it is applied still every semester. All right, so we'll wrap it up here and then open up for questions and answers. But some important dates I'd like to go over is that for this upcoming fall semester, the fall bills will be available on your URSA account on August 1st. So that's when billing or Bursar department will get those issued and out for all the students. Know that there are different payment options. So say if financial aid doesn't cover your entire student bill, you can sign up for what's called Bear Pay. And then what's great about that is it can split up that remaining balance into either 5 different payments or 4 different monthly payments, depending on when you sign up. And it's a $50 enrollment fee, just so everyone is aware of that. But once you get in there, what's great is it does take away the chance of being hit with any sort of service charges or late fees if you sign up for that Bear Pay plan. As far as financial aid goes, note that there will be a little bit of a delay. It's usually a couple weeks after the bills are issued that you'll see your financial aid actually be applied to the bill. So the bill may sit there for a couple weeks and not change, but then the week before classes start, as long as all of your requirements for financial aid have been satisfied, then we will disperse those funds and apply them to your bill. August 18th. That is the first day that fall financial aid refunds will be available. So if you do have excess funds, then our billing department will issue a refund. And depending on if you have direct deposit set up with the card office or not, it'll either go through direct deposit within a few days, or the billing department will send out a check through the mail to the address on file. So September 1st is going to be when fall bills are due. So that's whenever the first due date comes up. And the big thing is trying to get that balance taken care of as soon as possible. That way you don't get hit with a 1.5% service charge or late fee on September 7th. And then ultimately September 19th is going to be the last day to sign up for Bear Pay. So it only has 2 options, either the 5-month plan or the 4-month plan. So definitely you want to make sure you're paying close attention to those deadlines and signing up if you're needing to use that Bear Pay. And just know that we are more than happy to answer questions. You can stop by what we call Bear Central. It's on the 2nd floor of the Campus Commons building here at the Greeley campus. We're up on the second floor, and you can find the bursar or billing department. You can find financial aid, and then you can also find the registrar department all in one convenient location. We'll be open from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you need to give us a call, we're conveniently on the same phone number. So the extension 1 would be financial aid, extension 2 for registrar, and extension 3 for bursar or billing.